Hello everyone, welcome to Story Jumper, a tip project by DeAndrea and Zarina Wafula. So you must be wondering what a story jumper. It's a site for teachers, students, parents, authors, and creative individuals to create stories. Uh, it's a free site, and you just need to log in using your login ID or using your email address. Or if you just want to make a one-time book, you just go to make new book. When you go to the site www.storyjumper.com, you just click on make new book for just if you just want to create a book. If you're a teacher, you need to create an account. That's where you sign up with your email and password, and then you're able to add your students to your class. You create your classroom and you add your students. I will show you how it works and how it looks like. So this is the Story Jumper site. This is my site. I created two classes because I teach two different classes, the second level Swahili and third level Swahili. So these are my classes. I just went to storyjumper.com and put in my email address and created an account for my class. So you have the option of when you create a class, you can just put your student's name and it will automatically invite the students. You tell them the initial password, then they can change for their specific password. So it's very, very easy. If you do not have an account, it will take you to this my books. So you will click on create a book. So this is where you can create a book from scratch. So everything you do is your original work. Then there's one which has templates, different kinds of templates. So like for example, all about me. It will you go to when you open that one, then you say edit book. It will open. The first page is usually the dedication page. So it will take you to the dedication page. It's taking a little bit of time to open, but so you will have different text boxes. You can actually just pick either one that you want. You can reduce it. You can reduce, like if you picked this, you can make it smaller. It's a drag and drop. You can change the font, you can change the color. It's very easy, especially with kids who are already using technology. You just need to click. It has different props. So if you need any props like a house, a ball, cutlery, or pictures, you can come to the props. It has different scenes. So if you click on the scenes, it will give you different scenes. If you want to use your own photos, you can use your own photos. You just click on photos and upload your photos. So, and the other thing is you can narrate. So you click on narrate and it will tell you, you can read your story and people can listen to your stories. So it gives students an opportunity to be very creative and explore and discover how they can use this technology to create a book. And I have seen in my class, they are very different. There's some students who use props, there's some students who use their photos, told stories about their families. There's some students who talked about abstract things. They use different stylistic devices, sometimes personification. They would talk about either transportation, about food, about East African culture, and then they can share. When they have a book, it's not automatic that the other students will see the book. So if they want see other to make sure other students see the book, they come to share. So they share it with their parents, with other students. It's very, very interesting, and students are usually very engaged. I got feedback that they really liked it. So as a teacher, what you do is you can give timely feedback. You just go to comment and comment either if it's an amendment or if it's something you liked or you can relate with. Anything you can actually comment. You can translate to a different language. You can buy the book where they'll print for you. So it's very, very easy to create the site and go and do your work. So that is how you use Story Jumper. And then, so you might be wondering, why are we using Story Jumper? So while the activity of reading stories is an educational goal in itself, we believe kids should also experience the joy of the creative process as well. So storytelling requires focus and concentration, and our product is designed to enable anyone to attain a state of creative flow as easily as possible. If someone is having a hard time starting from scratch, writing a story and doing their illustration, it gives them an opportunity it nudges them to do it. If you're a highly creative person, at the same time, you can create from scratch. And for younger kids, because ours was used for older kids, for younger kids, I would advise maybe they have a template where you can write about your characters, the situation, the problem, the climax. So there's a worksheet they can write before they go on to create their stories. So it will help students. And the reason why we decided to do this is because at the end of the semester, part of the final project students work on is creating a book, and most of them just pick a book and they do the translation. So there's no creativity, there's no critical thinking, there's hardly any communication, because it's at the end of the semester. They give me once class is ended, will probably not see them again, so they don't even have feedback why they scored 90 instead of scoring 100. But this gives them an opportunity because they can always have access to the book. So they will see my comments because I will write feedback, and they're able to change and to use it in future. So what are the benefits? I know I've talked about some of the benefits, and one of them is creativity. So books can be built from scratch. If you're a highly creative person, you want to do your own illustrations, you can use technology to do that. Does it make it easier? The feedback I got is yes. 99% of the students prefer doing it online than doing the physical books, except one student. This student didn't do any illustrations. He did a very good job of writing sentences and writing it in English, but he did not illustrate. So it will nudge you to be creative. If you don't want to start from scratch, you can use the props and shapes and backgrounds and photos that you have. And it provides an alternative to traditional writing. So we are trying new approaches to getting things done, which is creativity. And then there's the aspect of communication. So as I've said, a teacher can give feedback and students are able to look at their work and correct and make amendments or know what they did right. Sometimes when you do corrections on paper, most students don't even look at that paper. They just file it away and they never go back to look at it. But this is something they can have. It will be there for a long time. It's something that they can be proud of and say, I wrote a story about this. It's easily accessible. So as long as they have internet connection, they can go to Story Jumper and download it and show it to someone. So they can share their books with their parents and their communities. They can also publish their books, making learning relevant so that they know they are also authors. The other thing is it allows for collaboration. Students can work together to create a book, though not even one single person in my class created. No student worked together. I am not sure why this happened, but it's because probably people prefer to work by themselves because you can set your own time. But the good thing about this, it doesn't limit your physical location, doesn't limit you working on the same book. So students in different locations can actually work together on the same book the same way you can do with on Google Docs. They can work with their parents and they can share books with other classes. When you go to the site, you will see so many students who have shared their books with other people. So there's also the aspect of critical thinking, which means you can link learning across subjects and disciplines. For example, in my class, you can translate it to different languages, and students, most importantly, learn how to use technology, and they can actually create different genres of books. So those were the advantages of using it. And I must say, the feedback I got from the students, they were very excited using Story Jumper. I am excited. I created some books and my students allowed me to share some of the books with you to just show how different it is and how they use the audio version. And some used their personal photos, some used the props, some did it from scratch. And I realized they did way more sentences than they would normally do if it's a book, because if you have a book, the story starts from once upon a time and they lived happily ever after. So you're limited, your creativity is limited. But in this instance, they would create their own story. So it allows for creativity. So though it may take many days, I think it would take many days with younger kids. With the older kids, I noticed it didn't take them so much time because they already love using technology, and it was frustrating for them to buy a simple book so that they can translate or make documents and create pictures, copy and paste to create their own stories. This was way easier. And then the only other challenge is the high cost of printing, and you don't have to print the book. So I would advise the use of Story Jumper because it gives the teacher an opportunity to evaluate and give timely feedback, and it's just amazing. Thank you so much, and I hope you get to use it in your class.